even if you are a person who tries to live in their like truth or I don't give a fuck or whatever, like we all have that thing that causes us to question if we are doing the right thing. And look, I'm not going to lie. I haven't found a fucking penny today. You know what I mean?
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Hi, everybody. Hi. Hello. It's me. It's Busy Phillips. How are you? This is Busy Phillips is doing her best. I am doing my best. Some days are better than others. This week's been particularly tricky, I think, for everybody. Caissie St. Ange and
Hi.
Shantira Jackson are with me. Now, guys, I got to tell you, you at home, I'm not at my house anymore. I'm in a different city. I have left. And I'm never coming back. I don't know. No, I had a crazy thing happen. And the crazy thing was that I freaked out and I had to get out of LA with my family. And I think a lot of people are feeling that. And, you know, in recovery therapy terms, sometimes people call it pulling a geographic when you just try to change your location to feel better about things. And I think that collectively, a lot of people are pulling a geographic right now. But at the same time, I had very real health things going on and I couldn't breathe. And I was just feeling so sick and weird. And we had been trying to oh no, see, there goes my throat again. We'd been trying to find a house to rent somewhere else, within the general vicinity of Los Angeles. And we had been trying since we got back from South Carolina in August and put in some applications. No, we were just rejected by everyone. It felt like I was getting a sign. And I mean, this is a real pivot. It's crazy. And then I was talking to Mark and I was like, look, in New York, is there something we can just rent in New York? And he was like, are you serious? And I was like, yes, the kids are on Zoom. They would probably, for school, they'd probably like it better because they don't even start school till noon. Which, by the way, today was the first time they do like it better. I can do my podcast and all of my Zoom meetings from here. I am working with this writer woman who lives in New York on a totally different project thing. And so that might be good that I'm actually near her. I don't know. I just was but it wasn't even a consideration about work. It was just that I had you know how animals get right before there's a storm or an earthquake or whatever and they fly away.
Yeah.
Real fast.
Sure.
I feel like I became one of those birds that was I got to get out right now. And so we found this place and I was like, great, let's go. And just packed up everything that we thought we could take and we rented this house for a month. And I feel I just needed, I don't know. It's kind of a geographic, but I do feel better. And I really also wanted to meet my friend's baby and kiss its head.
Yeah, smell that baby head.
I need to smell a baby head.
Well, I hope it makes you. I hope it makes you feel better.
I feel like Caissie's mad at me.
I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at everything, but I'm not specifically mad at you.
I know.
I get it. I get it.
I know. It's just it's just really hard, and I don't know what to do, and I feel like everything's a fucking mess.
Everything is a mess.
It's one of those things that you can control.
Yeah. Right.
And sometimes it's just, no one can see my Zoom, but last night I took every book and every picture off the wall in my apartment and started packing. We're not leaving for like 2.5 weeks. I'm moving apartments, but I was like, I don't need these books out. It's like a thing that you can control, and no matter how big or small it is right now, like sometimes it's like, what can I do that will actually help me, because the government won't?
Yeah.
So how do you help yourself?
Right.
And I feel like you have to do what you have to do, and there's no rule book for this. There's no guidebook for how to feel better in this situation. So for me to try to tell you what you should do, I never could, because like, how would I know? How would anybody know?
And there's also other stuff for our people at home who like the stuff I don't, it's interesting. Like I have such a, obviously, like people think that I share legit everything online, and on this podcast, even in just our 5 episodes, I feel like we've already covered, everything from like pooping at a car dealership to, I don't even fucking know what, but like, and more where that came from, bleeding on chairs. But there's also like other extenuating circumstances with my home in LA, and just why I really felt like I had to just get the fuck out and like move and just be away from it for a period of time at least, and figure out what we're going to do. But it's also really hard for me just because I like love that house. It's like where I had my kids. And so, like I think about Birdie there as a little baby, and I know. And people are like, wait, are you like moving for good? I don't know. I might be.
You gotta do what's best for you.
It's a lot. You have to do what's best for you. I swear to God, I'm not mad at you.
I know you're not. I'm just like struggling.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
But even if I was mad at you, that would be my problem, not your problem. You're just trying to do your thing. So like, even I'm telling you, like, even if I was mad at you, I would be giving you permission to not give a shit about it.
Well, I do,
but I wouldn't be.
I know you do.
I
care
know you do.
deeply.
I would care too.
Can I just tell you guys what happened when we got to this house last night? So
What?
we were like, this house is really beautiful and like it's really nice, but it's not necessarily like set up for 2 little girls. Mm-hmm. Like the bedrooms are not, well, like sometimes you look at rentals on Airbnb or whatever, and like you can find them where it's like, here's the room with the bunk beds and here's the room with like the princess bed or whatever. Well, you guys know Mark, for our listeners at home, that's like not his vibe. Like he does not gravitate toward like that. For instance, when we did I Feel Pretty in Boston, I trusted that when he went early with his partner, Abby, writing partner and directing partner, Abby, and they got their houses, that he would pick a place that we would all be comfortable in for the like literal 6 months we had to live in Boston over the summer. And Cricket was 2? Is that right? Was she turning 3, I think?
Probably around 3. A toddler.
Yeah.
Let's say
she
a toddler.
Was little. She was in a stroller, guys. This guy is like, found the best place. It's going to be great. He picked an apartment in, I don't know Boston that well, but like if you're listening and you do, I think you'll get what I'm saying. He picked an apartment in an area that's like the financial district in Boston that after 5 p.m.
Everything
is a ghost town. There's nothing there. Everything shuts down. And there's like nothing for children. Like you can't, there's no park. Like you can't walk. And the apartment itself was like glass furniture. And like, it was just, it was like crazy. And here, this house that we rented here looked incredible. But I just do think that like getting into any new place at night can be a little weird, especially for kids. So anyway, yeah, there's a lot of art in this house.
Oh boy.
And it's like some real art. And both girls in their bedrooms, the bedrooms are nice, for them to sleep in. Obviously busy. What else would they be doing in them? But they both, like, Birdie had like a visceral, like, oh hell no. Like,
Is the art scary?
it's not great. I mean, it is a little scary. Yes.
Okay. All right.
There's like, I would take a picture of it, but like to respect the privacy of the homeowners who I'm renting
Sure.
from, and I really enjoy this house, I'm not going to post it. However,
Also, if it's like art,
it might be art.
We'll find out.
I don't know.
If it's art, we might find out.
I don't
who
know.
bought it.
Our friend, one time she was staying in a place she rented in New York, and she called me and she was like, there's a picture of you bare ass on a toilet in the stairwell. And I was like, oh, I know whose house that is. It was
Oh my
like
God.
a former boss of mine that I'd given him like a gag gift of me pooping on his toilet because he hated when people used his toilet, and he had it hanging in his
Dave Letterman?
No, not Dave Letterman. But he hung it in his very fancy place that he didn't live in often and sometimes rented. So I know that this can happen. Art is a thing.
Art's a thing.
It's very personal.
Oh my God, wait. That, first of all, though, I want that picture too. I'm going to here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do like a version. I'm going to use Cricut's crayons. And I'm going to do like an approximation of why it's scary. and I'll take a picture of it, and I will post it for our visual learners this week. So anyway, guys, I am doing my best in that I'm like doing my fucking best. I don't know. I'm like a little bit flailing. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I do know that I have my vote by mail thing coming, and that I'm going to be able to vote even if I don't make it back by November 2nd. But I am feeling a little weird, but I weirdly feel better today. I do feel better, like physically. And
That's good.
I mean, the air quality is better there, but also
I mean, for sure. There's no question about that.
There's no question about that. But I also think that sometimes you have to do, we keep saying it, but and everyone doesn't have that scope. Like, we fully understand that everybody's not able to pack up and move across the country. You know what I mean?
But even I have friends who are just
food. Just like sometimes it's like, what can I control? You know what? I want nachos tonight. What can I control? You know what? I'm going to build new furniture. I'm going to rearrange my house. I'm going to start baking. And there are scopes to these things. And now there has never been a better time to be like, you know what? I'm going to do that thing that's for me.
Yeah.
I need to do for my health, my wellness, my good, my whole being.
I feel like you bring up a really interesting point, because I realized that one of the things that I've been struggling about with just this is that this was a thing that I just felt very strongly about it. Like, since we came back from South Carolina, I was just like, I can't stay here anymore. And I think that there's a version of myself previous to the pandemic or whatever that would have just been like, okay, but that's crazy. And so you're just going to stay put because that's what we do. You just stay the course of a thing, and it doesn't make the most sense for you to do that. Also, there's also extenuating circumstance. Like, my husband's family's all on the East Coast, and there's some health issues with one of his parents. And so we're closer if we need to be, if we're, on the East Coast.
So 5-10 years ago, you've been like, I want to leave because of my health and I want to go be close to Mark's parents. And someone would be like, well, that's selfish of you to say that out loud. But it's like, fuck you. You know
There's
what I
also
mean?
like a pandemic of apology, I feel like, because like even if just what you're doing for yourself is speaking up and saying how you honestly feel about something, some people never do that. I never did that until I was like in my mid 30s. I was always like biting my tongue. For whatever reason, I didn't want to hurt someone, or I didn't want someone to think of me in a certain way or whatever. But it's like only you know you, and only you know what's within your power to change. Only you know what you feel will make you feel better. So,
Right. But that's like, I think I think hearing this is valuable for other people, Caissie. I know it's like right now valuable for me. Hearing what you're saying, because I do think that so many of us like feel beholden to what other people are going to think or say or judge us by. And like Caissie and I had like an offline conversation where I wrote back and I was just like, it was like a whole thing, but I was just like, I'm sorry I said this thing. I felt like people were going to judge me, and I didn't, not just you, but like everybody.
Yeah.
And she was like, who fucking cares? Like it doesn't, if people are like what she said in the show too. But I do feel like that because historically speaking, A, that's been true. And B, like for everyone. And B, even if you are a person who tries to live in their like truth or I don't give a fuck or whatever, like we all have that thing that causes us to question if we are doing the right thing. And look, I'm not going to lie. I haven't found a fucking penny today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. And I'm like, where's my penny?
You got to get out there and get your penny.
That's also, to be fair, I have just been in this house.
Yeah. I mean, like, duly noted, maybe when you move that fucking art, you'll find something back there.
That's right. That's right.
Okay, Shantira, what have you been doing your best at other than packing 2 weeks early?
I have been really trying to find a decent dairy-free ice cream, and I think I found one last night.
What?
It's made from cashew milk. Cause like I was so mad that I like had to buy it, like, cause like I really been stunting on my body, just straight up being like, I know you're not supposed to have this, but you're gonna eat this cheese today. So I like truly was in the store and like this week, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna drink this tea. I'm gonna take my probiotic, and I'm going to get a vegan, dairy-free ice cream. I'm going to try a new flavor. I'm going to try to listen to my body. And I went ahead and did it. It's called So Delicious Dairy-Free. And it's made from cashew milk. And oat milk and almond milk and coconut milk are fine or whatever, but I feel like they always taste like coconut. Like it's like, oh, this is chocolate coconut. But this cashew dairy-free ice cream, I put it in my mouth and I was like, all right, body. We can do this. So that is what I did.
I want to get that one. You know which one was like advertised to me on Instagram and I purchased immediately?
What?
Craig's ice cream, Craig's vegan ice cream.
Oh, I'll put that on the list.
Wait, listen, it's from that restaurant Craig's there in LA, not here in LA because I'm not here in LA. Oh no. They're in LA and I guess they had like so many, like Craig's is this restaurant in LA, guys, Hollywood Break. We're like, not currently because pandemic, but it's like anytime you're there, it's like definitely Jennifer Aniston is there and probably like if Howard Stern's in town, he's there. It's like a crazy celebrity.
It's like the Ivy. Before I moved to Hollywood, I knew that the Ivy is where famous people ate a salad.
I think, I think I think famous people don't really eat at the Ivy anymore, but they definitely eat at Craig's.
Craig's is the new Ivy because regular people from Tallahassee, Florida found out about the Ivy and they were like, no.
Well, now regular people from Tallahassee, Florida can know about Craig's. But there's always like a throng of paparazzi out front, like waiting. It's on Melrose and like in West Hollywood. But anyway, I guess they started making vegan ice cream because so many,
Famous people, in order to keep it tight, you can't have any milk.
Yeah, and it was like it's so popular and delicious that then they started selling it, and I fell for it on Instagram, and boy, do I love it. It's
all right.
delicious.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna finish
right.
the snickerdoodle though, but it's really good, and it felt like I found a penny in the grocery store because I truly, really did try to get really good dairy-free ice cream, but I hated all of it, and I was like, "Fuck it! If I'm gonna spend $7, you best believe it better taste good." So I decided to try it yesterday, and I found a penny in the frozen food aisle, and I'm on board.
I'm proud of you. Caissie, what have you been doing your best or not doing your best at this week?
Well, there was a thing that I was trying really hard at for a really long time, and it just wasn't working out. So I gave up on it. And so I feel like I didn't do my best. And that was that I was trying to find Chris Evans's dick pics online. Oh my God. But I love Chris Evans. I think he's a great guy. I think he's always like a gentleman. And in case you don't know, I don't know how you wouldn't know, if you're on the internet, he accidentally leaked his camera roll on Instagram. Apparently.
Yeah, what happened? I couldn't figure it out.
I think he accidentally shared a screenshot. I don't know because I never successfully found it. I think he accidentally shared a screenshot of his camera roll, and there were like possibly intimate photos.
There was a dick, but it was like it might not even have been his dick. Like
I don't
it was
know.
just like a bunch of memes of his face.
Who else's dick would it be, Shantira?
Like maybe he saved
I
a
don't
picture
have a dick,
of,
and there's dick pics in my phone from the internet.
So I was looking for it, but because he's such a beloved figure, so many of his fans just tweeted and posted nice pictures of him doing lovely things and being a hero and being fantastic that it buried the dick pics to the point where they were like unfindable by the time that I found out about it. So after like several hours of scrolling, I eventually had to give up. So mission accomplished, internet warriors. And I'll tell you, like the reason I wanted to look at it like the way that you look at a car crash. It's not nice, but it's hard not to look. But also I wanted to look at it too, just to like balance the scales of justice a little bit. Even though I love Chris Evans, so many women have had their phones hacked and nude photos have gotten out on the internet and like
or
people,
more intense things from
intense things. So I just felt like, I just want to see it. Like it's out there. There's a lot of things I wouldn't look at, but I did try to look at that one and I failed.
I think for me, one of the things too, I didn't know it was a dick pic. So I just saw Chris Evans trending and I was like, what is it? And then I looked and I saw it like immediately. I was like, I got there early. I was like, oh my gosh. But then the thing that really got me is how everyone like rallied around him to protect him and to take care of him and to be like, it's okay, you're a great guy. And I was like, why can't we do this for women? Like, I really truly respect that. Like, truly Hollywood, everybody was like, this is fucked up and we really need to take care of Cap. And it's like, wait, so you know how to be good to people whose nudes have leaked. You just have chosen for it to only be a white man that you cared about. And I was like, okay, cool.
It really made me think back to that interview with Anne Hathaway when Matt Lauer asked her about the upskirt shot that was taken of her. And like she was clearly so uncomfortable. And it was just like a really like, what place did that have on the Today Show? It really made me think of all these situations where women have just been given the business over these similar things happening. But, Chris Evans, because he is fantastic, handled it in a wonderful way.
And then he encouraged people to vote, right?
He said, now that I have your attention, let's vote.
You got a little treat. Now you have to go vote.
And then he went on Tamron Hall and he didn't really say anything. She asked him about it. But the way that he reacted made me sort of feel like it was a picture of his dick. But I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
To this day, I've not seen it.
In the instances, like what did they call it? Like the fappening or whatever,
Yes.
when all of the actresses' phones and computers were hacked and there were all these like nude pictures and really racy things happening. That was all that was like all a violation. He just messed up and like put his dick pic out there.
Yeah.
Like that's that was on
I think
him.
it was just like a very interesting. No matter how you feel about nudes, everyone's not on board for looking at them. But I do think that there is a conversation to be had about how we respond to them, whether they're famous or not. So if your truth is that you would die to protect a dick pic from Captain America, you got to hold that same fucking truth for somebody who's not a cis white man. That's all I'm saying.
And you gotta speak up. Because I do like Chris Evans so much, and really not even like in a he's hot way. I just like him as a person.
He seems nice, and he's from Boston.
He's from Massachusetts, so that's a big deal for me. But he also just seems like a really good guy. So I, of course, concocted like some story in my head that like maybe like subconsciously he leaked this nude to sort of balance the scales for all the women that this has happened to.
I do think I mean, he dated my friend Jenny Slate, and I do think that he has tried and expanded his horizon in terms of his feminist views and stuff, you're not dating Jenny Slate if you're a meathead. You're just not. That's not happening for you, sir.
There was also something saved on his camera roll that was like a thirst, blue steel kind of picture of him that had been turned into a meme that said "guard that pussy," which I was entertained that he had that on his camera roll.
Him.
That I
really
did
like
see.
Him. I mean, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe it was like his weirdly feminist. Accidental feminist. It was his.
I'm not going to give him any credit.
All right.
I'm giving him zero credit.
Maybe subconsciously he was trying to like normalize it so that next time this happens to a woman, we can all not act like.
Next time this does happen to a woman, now we can point to this incident because like before we didn't have the proof. That people,
what
I mean?
Yeah, behind the man like that.
And
but
so
now we got it. So.
Yeah, now we have it. So
we got the receipts, baby. We've got the receipts,
guys. Right before we're gonna move on to our incredible guest, who in the first time in Busy Phillips is doing her best history. What? I mean, come on. What episode is this? 6? 6.
Yeah.
Okay. Happens to be friends with all three of us. Text. We all have each other's digits.
We've all eaten food together.
We've all eaten. We've broken bread. We've drinks. Anyway, before we get to that, I just do want to say, because I just like opened my Twitter, because I always like to know, is there something that's like happening immediately that we should talk about? Because this is
while we started talking, did something happen?
Well, kind of.
Yeah.
2 things. Doing their best. I know Caissie's a fan. I'm a fan. If you're not into the Nandi Bushell and Dave Grohl situation,
it's so cute.
It's cute. It's great. It's heartwarming. It's going to make
Hollywood
you feel good.
break. If you're not on Twitter,
I'm going to post it. There's an LA Times article. I'm going to post it for you guys.
Nandi is this really incredible young drummer.
She's 10.
Drummer. She's a 10-year-old drummer.
She plays the guitar as well.
She loves Dave Grohl, who is a friend of Busy's. And she this is the thing I know. She loves Dave Grohl. She loves Nirvana. She loves rocking out. And she makes these really wonderful videos. And she's like built this friendship with her idol, Dave Grohl. And I don't cap for men. He's like a nice man. Doing something from like a young musician who like is good and seems to be happy. And he was like, you know what? Let's fucking jam. And that is cool. That's cool. The drummer from Nirvana, the lead singer from the Foo Fighters had a jam session with a 10-year-old girl, and it's fucking cool.
Yeah. I have to say, like, I am friends with Dave, full disclosure. I actually have known his wife since college. We went to college together. But like, he's a great dad. It doesn't surprise me at all. He's like an excellent father and like so down with kids and like just a really fun, good person. And it's really, I just have really enjoyed this story in a time when I think so many things have just been so sad. So if you haven't If you haven't caught up on it, I really highly recommend checking it out.
Yeah.
It's really cute.
It's very
cute.
cathartic. Also, Lenny Kravitz is a big fan of hers. And what's so
Yes.
adorable, just to prepare you, is that she's an adorable British girl and she calls everyone Mr. Grohl. And, you know, like she has a hard time calling them Lenny and Dave, which I think is adorable.
It's like a
proper
proper with a
10-year-old.
British accent. With
Yeah,
a tiny
yeah.
little British accent. Okay, and then finally, this is actually news. Louisville settled with Breonna Taylor's family.
Yeah.
A $12 million settlement.
Here's the thing.
And significant police reforms, but
I mean, Breonna Taylor, I literally cry for her.
Yeah.
Have cried and continue to. That is taxpayer money. So
Yeah.
fuck them. I don't know if we're cutting that out, but like, I
no,
want her
we're
to
not
get
cutting
money.
that out, Shantira.
But fuck them. Taxpayer money. We pay for everything they do bad. We pay for it. And that's fucked up. So that's all I have to say about that.
But it's like, it's always good to just start to think critically. And to be totally honest with you, like in a way, I didn't even think about that $12 million as being taxpayer money until you brought it up, Shantira. I was like, oh
We
yeah,
pay
that
for
makes
all
sense.
of
The
the
government's going to pay for it. But I'm like, wait, who the fuck is the government? Oh, right. Oh, right. I only wanted to bring it up because I do just feel like in this time and when there are so many things happening and so many things to focus on, we have to remember that we are capable of holding more than one thing
Multitudes,
at a time.
baby. Watch
And
that video
yes.
of that girl playing the drums and then donate to a bail fund.
Yeah.
Listen, watch the video. No, listen, we're gonna move forward. We're gonna just keep. Honestly, we're just gonna keep putting one foot in front of the other, and
Pushing ourselves to do better, pushing
Yes.
other people to do better.
Yes.
Like you've done something, Louisville, you've done something, but we feel like you could do better and we feel like there's still a problem that needs to be addressed and we'll continue to push
truth
you
to power.
speak truth to power and ask you to, you know, to bring justice to Breonna Taylor.
All right, my heart is so happy though that we were able, the three of us, to have our dear Ashley Nicole Black join us, and have a little chat about pivots and congratulate her on her like 47th Emmy nomination. You guys, the three of us love Ashley Nicole Black so much. Has
the best.
Shantira known her the longest? Probably, right?
I've known her
'cause
since
Chicago.
Chicago, 7-8 years, 9 years, a long
9
time.
years.
Like,
Caissie, when did you guys meet?
Gosh, a really long time ago. We met online in like a women's writers group that morphed into like a radical feminist group.
You're so cool. You're so cool. You're always like a part of the coolest things. Okay. And I met Ashley. I mean, I followed her online and was a fan and like then just met her through Caissie basically. But
Yeah.
love her and she's my friend too now. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Guys, I really hope you enjoy this conversation and I hope it's as much fun for you as it was for all of us.
Yay.
Guys, 2020 has already reshaped how we work, and it's, only halfway over. Businesses across the globe are challenged to be their most efficient, which means every hire is critical. Well, Indeed is here to help. Indeed.com is a #1 job site in the world because Indeed gets you the best people and fast. And what do I love? The best people. And I love them to be fast. You only pay for what you need. You can pause your account at any time, and there are no long-term contracts. Indeed provides lots of powerful tools to make your search easier, like sponsored jobs, which are shown to be 3.5 times more likely to result in a hire. With 73% of online job seekers visiting Indeed each month, Indeed is going to get you the important hire you need, just like they have for, are you ready for this? Over 3 million businesses. It's a lot of businesses, guys. Right now, Indeed is offering our listeners a free $75 credit to boost your job post, which means more quality candidates will see it fast. Try Indeed out with a free $75 credit at Indeed.com/processing. Go right now to Indeed.com/processing. Terms and conditions apply. Offer valid through September 30th. So get there now. Hi, guys. You know I'm a real sunglasses lady. And now I'm even wearing my faux glasses when I'm on my computer all the time. Where are my new Warby Parkers that I just received? They're in here somewhere. I did, I don't know if you guys are into Warby Parker, but I love them. I've loved them for years. They're committed to providing exceptional vision care online and in stores, offering eyeglasses, sunglasses, eye exams, and contact lenses. And let me tell you something. The glasses are, fairly affordable. They start at $95. So including prescription lenses. If you wear glasses, you know that how good that is. Plus, I got the blue light lenses because, I'm trying to save myself from all of these Zooms that I've been on. I love my Warby Parkers. And guess what I did? I did the try-on kit, the home try-on kit. So I took a little quiz. I ordered the try-on kit, the home try-on kit. And basically, we determined in my quiz that I have a wide face. This is not a shock to anyone who has ever
I've never
been
thought that about you, but now that you say it.
Yeah, of course I have a wide face. Obviously. Look at this wide face.
You need a wide face to support that strong jawline.
Right. I got it. If I had a narrow face, strong jawline, we probably wouldn't even be here. You know what I mean?
Out of business.
We'd be out of business. So with my wide face, then I was given all these options of glasses that I could pick. And a pair of glasses showed up, guys. And I was like, Warby Parker has been paying attention to me because they were exactly my favorite shape, dark green. I loved them. And so I tried on all my glasses and then I bought the green ones because I needed them. And then also I bought another pair that I didn't do the try at home. I just bought them because I knew I wanted them immediately. So I didn't even need to try them on at home. So I love this program because I know that we're all trying to stay out of public spaces, probably still trying to socially distant. And I know they have plans for that in their stores. But for me, this is a really good option to try on glasses at home and then you get exactly what you want and there's no risk. So try.
My box arrived yesterday.
Your box arrived yesterday?
Yeah, I'm excited.
We're very loyal to Warby Parker in my house too, because not to brag, my husband and my teenage son both have very complicated eyeglasses prescriptions, and Warby Parker handles them beautifully, and they're affordable. So you can get more than one pair if you don't want to wear the same complicated prescription glasses every day.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, because that's the thing, right? I remember when I was a kid and glasses were so expensive and you get one pair of glasses, you know what I mean? And if you break them, your mom is like, well, you better tape those up because we're not getting you another pair of glasses. True story, that happened. Anyway, guys, try Warby Parker's free home try-on program. You order 5 pair of glasses to try on at home for free for 5 days. There's no obligation for you to buy them. It ships free. It includes a prepaid return shipping label. It couldn't have been easier. If I can do it, anyone can. Try 5 pairs of glasses at home for free at warbyparker.com/ourbest. Make sure you use that because I want credit from Warby Parker. I want them to know that you went there to do this because of me.
We love it. And also every pair of glasses they sell, they distribute a pair of glasses to someone in need. So that's really nice. And you can just feel fantastic about your new fashionable glasses because you're helping one of the 1 billion people worldwide who lack access to glasses.
The important, Caissie, thanks for bringing that up. Thanks, Warby Parker, for doing your part. Hey, Ashley.
Hi, I've been looking forward to this all day.
Yay.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
I'm so happy you're here. I love when my buds are here.
I know.
Let's just start this interview off with full disclosure. Ashley Nicole Black is not just a television star. She's also a very close friend of all 3 of us.
We love her more than anything. You may be the closest friend of all 3 of us.
Truly.
That may be true.
That we ever talk to, maybe.
Yeah.
Even.
You're the only one that all three of us, I think, have texted.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's it. That's
Probably.
it. That's
Me
it.
and Chelsea.
Yes.
And I've listened to every episode of the pod. I'm like a stan.
Oh my
It's
God.
really crazy. I've heard every episode in its entirety.
I haven't even.
Standing stands.
When we talk about taking it to the group chat, Ashley is a member of one of the very important group chats.
Yeah. Very important. VIP. That group chat really got me through core, I have to say. It was the VIP group chat of getting me through core.
I have.
Yeah,
You go.
you have like different group chats for different reasons. And like, that's the group chat for like, guys, I'm going to eat nachos only for the third day in a row. And I need someone to tell me it's okay.
And everyone's like, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Me and Ashley had a group chat with Amber Ruffin,
Yes.
and like we watched Smash, Smash live, and we were like, "Are we three people who watch Smash?" Okay, so
We got to do this together.
I never watched it. Was it amazing?
It
Yeah.
was so
good.
good.
it was so good.
I should have watched it.
It was so good.
Yeah. I'm maybe I'll watch it. Maybe I should get into it.
Well, it's also fun. You have to watch it with someone who like has your same sensibilities, because we were mad about the same stuff.
Yeah.
Excited about the. We were like, why did they sing it like that?
I love that show so much. And it has one of my biggest pet peeves about a show. When a show will try to tell you this person is a better singer than this person, and you're like, no, I'm watching the show.
No,
Yeah.
I can hear their voices. Stop lying to me.
It also did that thing where somebody is like the villainiest villain ever.
Yes.
And then like a week later, people are like, let's give him another chance.
Did you guys ever watch Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip?
I
Yes.
100% did. I
Walk and
watched,
talk.
Okay.
I watched
Since-
every episode.
Me too. Since we all like come from the comedy world, and you guys are sketch comedy queens, I was like fascinated by Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip. Guys, if you're not familiar, it was Aaron Sorkin's like dramatization of behind the scenes at like an SNL. But what was so funny to me is like that they kept talking about how Sarah Paulson's character, who's like the lead of the Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip, like is the funniest person of all time. And like, if you can't like, and she was so good at impressions, but like, it was clear that Sarah Paulson's best impression was the dolphin.
The dolphin?
The dolphin
And they
is
made
great.
her do it like in every fucking episode of her doing the dolphin. And obviously Paulson is like an insanely talented person, but anytime you write in that this person is like, but she's not Kate McKinnon is my point. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
She
like
also,
it's different.
to be fair to her, she might be. It was such like men-written television where they're like,
that's
they kept
actually a good
writing
point,
about
good point.
how funny the woman is, but they never gave her a joke.
They
So
never
we
let
could
her be
find
funny.
out.
They never let her be funny except to do the dolphin thing.
Yeah.
And then she does the dolphin thing, and then she's like, ah, whatever. It's like, honestly, in retrospect, it was kind of funny.
Did you guys ever hear? What is it true that character was based on Kristen Chenoweth?
Well, kind of, yeah,
Oh,
because
I can
like
see that.
Oh, because they were dating.
he dated
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
You know, I like tested for the part that Kristen Chenoweth got on
Pushing
West Wing.
Daisies? Oh,
on West
really?
Wing.
I love her in West Wing, though.
Yeah, I like tested for that.
I
part,
really
which is so
loved
weird.
her in Pushing
It's like
Daisies.
me and Aisha
Yes.
Tyler.
You and Aisha Tyler.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we're
guys
at
are the
the
same type.
We kind of honestly, we kind of are. If you think about it, we're just like
Isn't
strong.
she like very tall? Isn't she like 6'1"? I am going to look it up right now because I really want to know if it's true. But I do think like usually when you meet a famous person, busy, you've met more famous people. I mean, like they're so small. But
Yeah.
I've seen her and she's like hella tall, right?
Small
She's very
and
tall.
tiny heads. Every time I talk to a famous person, I feel like my head is giant because they all have such small heads.
Really? I find that opposite to be true.
Big heads,
Giant?
bobble
Yeah,
heads.
big heads.
Big eyes, big features, big heads.
My head is
Hollywood-
abnormally large.
Hollywood
you're so
break. I don't
smart.
want to rat out who this person was, but one time I was at the Emmy Awards when Friends was like in its heyday, and all the Friends ladies walked by, and the famous guy that I was sitting next to, this older guy, he hits me on the arm and he goes, "Look at them. They look like apples on pencils."
Oh
So
my
small.
God.
She's 6 feet. I just looked it up.
Yeah,
There
she
you
is
go.
tall. Well, we're not here to talk about the jobs I didn't get or
celebrity head size.
or celebrity head size. We're here to congratulate our dear friend on her Emmy nom. Are you excited?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I am, but like normally when it's the Emmys, you're like trying on dresses and doing all this stuff. And because it's virtual, I keep like forgetting it's coming because I'm not doing all the like prep
Glam.
that you would do. Yeah.
Do you think maybe you should do it just for fun?
Well, I said I'll do the top half. I'm wearing sweatpants, but I'm going to dress up the top half.
Are you not a person that likes to? How many Emmys have you been nominated for? How many have you won? I feel like you have some.
Won.
Yes.
I think we were nominated 6 or 7 times.
So many
how many-
times you lost count, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
And how do you? And how many times did you get to go?
I've gone. I mean, this sounds so braggy, but I've gone every year since I started working in television.
I mean, shut up. That's amazing.
The power, the grace.
I love the flex.
The
But
dresses.
sometimes I do feel like like all the writers don't get to go when they're nominated, or do they always all get to go?
No, I
It
think
depends.
in late night, a lot of times they do because late night writers get individually nominated, whereas like on a scripted show, everybody worked on that episode, but one person gets nominated.
So that's fun. So you've gone before, so you've worn the beautiful dresses. Oh yeah, I think I remember you were there. Were you there last year? No,
Yeah, and we wore
you were.
almost the same dress.
you and me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Did
You
we take a
had
picture
like
together?
the strapless version, and I had like the version with sleeves of the like red sequence
Yes.
gown. Do you remember that one? Yeah.
Wait, was that the?
No,
that the
wait.
Emmys?
Maybe that was
was the Golden Globes.
Golden Globes. Yeah.
Oh
We
my
wore the
God,
same
you
dress at the
two.
Golden Globes. Did we get a picture? Did I
No,
see you? No, we split.
unfortunately.
Michelle and I
Yeah.
split. We didn't go to any parties. She was pregnant. I was like, she was. Was she pregnant? She was pregnant. We didn't go to any parties. We left and changed, and then went and ate at John and Vinny's. And
I
ate
remember those
pizza.
pics. I
It was
remember
so
John and Vinny's
fun.
pics.
Yeah,
Yes.
we changed in the bathroom. We
Because she
took
won.
pictures
And she
first.
gave that good speech.
She gave
She
a
always
great
gives a good
speech.
She always
Yeah.
gives a great speech.
And we
Have
were
you
like,
gone to give a speech when you guys won? Did you get to give the speech?
No.
Part of it? No.
Sam gave it.
So we should say, for people that don't know Ashley Nicole Black as well as we do, because not to brag, we're all friends, but she was a correspondent and writer on Full Frontal with Samantha Bee, which is where she won that Emmy and was nominated so many times. But now she's a writer and performer on HBO's A Black Lady sketch show, and that is what she's currently nominated for an Emmy for. Is that
People are like, I hate this girl.
Why would they hate
I
you?
love
What are you
it.
talking about?
Also,
That
like
makes
you're successful and like nice. Like there are people who are nominated for stuff, and I'm like, fuck that person. I hope they lose everything forever. And then I'm like, I hope you win an Emmy for directing, even if you didn't direct an episode.
Yeah, I want you to win all of the awards for everything.
I do.
Yeah.
I like getting dressed up. And to me, that's I'm like, oh, if we get nominated for an Emmy, I get another dress. That's a lot of the motivation.
That's so fun.
It's fun. It's so celebratory. I love that you love it. I don't love it. I haven't been in a while. But one time I went to the Emmys and at the last second, I just decided I hated my dress and I just wore my slip.
Oh, wait, I remember that. I've heard this story. I know this story.
It was
I
a very
love that.
nice slip and it looked like an understated gown, but I was like, I'm here in my underwear.
I mean, a lot of people do show up in their underoos, so that
Yeah.
makes sense.
The first time I went, I worked as a PA on the Simpsons movie. And when the Simpsons got nominated for their Emmys, like they get nominated every year and they're over it. So they were just like, PAs, who wants to go to the Emmys? And me and my friend went and we had like bridesmaids dresses because we didn't have money. So it was just like, well, I was at a wedding this year and we put on our bridesmaids dresses and went to the Emmys.
Wait, that's
so cool.
genius.
I love it.
It was great.
Also, by the way, that's essentially what the gowns are. You know what I mean? Like last year I wore that Lila Rose dress. That's what I wore to the Emmys last year, that like light yellow dress. And I feel like I've seen that Lila Rose dress since in a version of it, but like just like it would be like a dress you would buy to wear to a wedding.
That would be fun actually this year if everyone who's nominated for an Emmy just got out their oldest bridesmaid dress in their closet and posted.
I would
Oh my God,
take a
it's
picture of it.
genius.
I definitely cannot put these titties in that dress. That was not gonna go over these.
Really?
Put it on upside down.
Honestly, then maybe not. These titties are bigger than some hips. I'll be honest.
So do you know, Ashley, do you know what the plan is? Like if you're as a nominee, are you guys like zooming in or something when it's your turn? And then if you guys like, how is it working?
I really don't know. I think that's what it is. I think you're like in the Zoom audience or whatever. It's just like such a weird, and I'm sure this is weird for a lot of people. It's weird to be like every meeting, Emmys, everything, you're showing people your house it's just so weird to me to be like, well, you get nominated for an Emmy and your reward is you get to show people your house.
Oh my God.
But also like, yeah, maybe everybody should use the same virtual background or something.
Yeah, I might just sit in front of a white wall.
Yeah,
No.
I never even thought about that. And it's also like a lot of times. I mean, I have yet to pop my Emmy cherry. I have not gone yet, but like a lot of it's like, oh, some people might have been nominated for the first time, and it's like if you win, and then it's like, that's my dog. I hope my dog doesn't show the Emmy audience its butthole, please.
Right.
Thank you.
I would hope that like one of my children wouldn't show the Emmy audience their butthole. That would be my concern. It's gonna happen. Someone's baby is gonna like wander through.
There's 100% going to be a butthole this year. Tune in.
We called it here
This
first.
is a commercial for the Emmy.
We called it here first. We want that butthole credit.
A
Baby.
celebrity butthole.
Well, I loved Black Lady Sketch Show, and I feel like you guys were very prophetic in your writing of it.
Unfortunately, yes.
It seems really weird now, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I hadn't even thought of it that way, but people started tweeting like, you guys predicted this, what's going to happen next? Because in that show, there's a storyline where all the women are quarantined together in a house.
It's the running gag of the series.
Yeah, and I
basically.
truly think we were like, what's the craziest thing that could happen? Often in comedy, you're like, what's the craziest thing that could happen? We'll write that. And now all those things are happening.
What do
Are
you think
you
it
a
means,
witch?
Ashley? What do you think it means?
I mean, right now with the fires, the sky outside right now looks like the cutaway shot in that show.
I
Where they
know.
cut away
It really
and
does.
show the apocalypse.
It really does.
It's yeah.
I started freaking out. Are you freaking out a little?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm freaking out, but I did finally, I want to say like a month ago, they told everybody pack a go bag. And I never did it. And then this week I looked at the sky and I was like, I'm going to pack that go bag. So I did do that.
Can I ask you just like, because I love Black Lady Sketch Show. I feel like it brought a lot of joy into like our lives in a moment where we needed joy. So a year ago, the Black Lady Sketch Show came out. We were all so excited for you and supportive and wanting, and we loved it. And then, then you guys got nominated for Emmys. I mean, and the world shut down. It's just a very different world than it was 1 year ago, right? And I guess, like, I don't know. I'm just sort of curious what your feeling is even about, like, award shows, like about the Emmys and about, like, given what the last 6 months has been. Has it, I don't know.
It's interesting because, like, part of what people were talking about this Emmys is like a lot of Black people got nominated, which is great. And I think like Insecure is the best example of a show that like everyone was like, oh my gosh, Insecure got nominated in its 4th season. That's amazing. but they've been doing amazing work for 4 years.
Yeah.
So I think when stuff like that happens, it is kind of a bittersweet thing to be like, or like on Black Lady Sketch Show, our director was nominated for directing the show, which she absolutely should be. I think she took sketch to like new heights with her directing, but she's the first Black woman to be nominated in that category. And it is very bittersweet to be like, no, there have been like amazing Black women doing amazing work for a long time. And it's like kind of weird when people are like finally getting nominated for something.
Yeah, it's like that overnight success idea. You're like, hey, you found about it last night. They were there.
Right.
They were there. This is 10 years in the making before I even got to show up, you know?
Well, I guess it's like a question too of, yeah, like, do you ever feel, not you because you've been to the Emmys so many fucking times, but like, I wonder if the feeling is ever like, oh, now you want to like pay attention to the, you know, to work that's being done by people who aren't white, like, cool. You know, like if there's ever that kind of like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like the Emmys and the Oscars have just traditionally populated their voting bodies with the same types of people that like, you know, have historically run this industry, and they're very, you know, all the same. And so
and like people love to like point at the Oscar, like people who work in Hollywood love to point at the Oscars and be like, well, the Oscars are so racist because they only nominated these films and blah, blah, blah. But in order to be eligible to vote for the Emmys or for the Oscars, you have to be working in the business. The reason it's white is because you don't hire non-white people on your shows. Like the people who are eligible to do that is out of the pool of the people who are working in Hollywood. And like, it's a real thing in Hollywood where everyone can point to somebody else. The showrunners are like, oh, the studios don't want us to be more diverse. And the studios are like, no, we would love more diversity, but the showrunners aren't doing it. And it's just like, at the end of the day, it's probably you, like whoever you is that's listening, it's you.
yeah.
I also think that like that we talk about the group chat is like, yeah, sometimes I do want to be like, fuck the Oscars. Will I take an Oscar? 100%. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's the thing. It's like a bunch of people who got Oscars, been to the Oscars, know somebody named Oscar. It's going to be like, fuck the Oscars. And I'm going to be like, yeah, but I would take a nomination that would help me a lot so that I can hire more Black and brown people. Give me the thing. Because until we get to a place where when I say fuck the Oscars, it's 6 people nominated for 6 Black and brown people nominated. Like, I want them to be like, damn, Oscar's so Black. Like, until white people get mad about how Black the Oscars are, give it to me. Give me the Oscars. Also, just I just have to say, I wanted to be on a recording. The Basic Ball, Ashley, is the greatest thing on television. And I know that that technically it's on television forever, all the time. It's the best thing, the most relatable. Dime Davis, is that your director? Dime Davis. Yeah. If you want a starting point, if you're like, I don't know, I'm sick of sketch, go watch The Basic Ball. It is perfectly shot, perfectly written by Ashley Nicole Black, and just literally a perfect sketch.
A perfect chef's kiss.
That's
Perfect
one of
sketch.
my favorites too, because it just frustrates me so much. I love that there's so much more gay representation on TV, but all the gay people on TV are so hot. And I'm just like, I know a lot of regular gays. Like, a lot of people are just out here trying to get their kids to preschool. You know, I really wanted to celebrate the average gay, and I'm so glad that we were.
Oh my God,
The Basic Ball was so beautiful, and I was like, I am basic too, and I love that my basic ass is just on HBO. Like,
Finally, a ball I can win.
Yeah, it's like you got to see it to be it. But guess what? If you're already basic, go watch it. It's there for you.
That to me is like the best thing about being a writer performer, is being someone who's like, well, I'm basic looking and I can't dance. Let me create a world where I can win.
I also love your action movie character trinity.
Oh, so good.
I mean, just talk a little bit about like how you came up with her, because I love it so much.
Yeah, I have literally always thought this is like part of, I guess, what makes me a writer, but also what's weird about my brain. I have truly always believed in my heart of hearts that I would be a great spy, because people just like don't see me. Like, it happens to me all the time. Like, I'll just be like walking down the street and a man will literally walk into me. Like, one time a lady touched my face with her face because she got so close to me. And she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there." And I was like, "I'm a large person. How could you not see me in your field of vision?" And so I just always thought like I would be such a good spy because I could just get in and out of the party without anyone seeing me. And
Oh my God.
when I knew that I was going to do the show, that was the first thing that I was like, oh, I can finally like bring this spy to life, because I have a sketch show.
I just identified with it so much because like, well, I think everybody feels invisible sometimes, but I have also had that experience where people are like, "You weren't there." And I'm like, "I was there. We took a picture together." And then they're like, what were you just saying? Were you just here just now? And I'm like, "I'm here talking to you right now. What?
I've been here the whole time."
It's very frustrating and I don't know what it is, but I'll tell you that, I strongly identified with that. And it's just painfully funny.
Yeah. It's
When
so
I was
funny.
in New York, people would always steal cabs from me. They'd be like, "I didn't see you there." I was like, "I'm touching the cab."
You're sitting on me.
Why are you in my cab, Ashley?
Oh, you can see me?
Well, I rented
Such
that
a
you from
weird-
TV, but get out of my cab.
It's such a weird thing. I do think that it's like, I do think it is kind of a superpower to be able to like disappear in a way.
I think it is. I have come to enjoy it because it's like I could be
Okay.
angry about it my whole life.
I was like,
Or-
because I would be angry about it, but then I'm just trying to like think about it. Like,
I mean, it's good for a party. It's great. 'Cause
Oh,
it's
I
like,
love to sneak out of a party.
it's like, if you want to sneak out of a party, it's great. If you want to sneak into a party and stay for 10 minutes, you know what I mean? Because if
Yeah.
nobody remembers you were there, you were like, well, if you ain't going to remember I'm here, I can stay for 10 minutes instead of 4 hours. Like, let me make this work for me.
But if you want to get a drink at that party, fucking forget it.
Oh no, that's what you have hot friends for. Get me a drink.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
But I have come to enjoy, I feel like, especially working in Hollywood, there's that moment, like, you go on these meetings or whatever, and people are like, "Oh, who's this bitch?" And then it always takes me 5, maybe 10 at most minutes for that person to like lean forward and be like, "Oh my God, she's good at this." And I just decided to like, instead of being resentful that I didn't get that from the first minute, I just like to clock and wait for it to happen. And then I'll just look at the clock and be like 7 minutes and just enjoy the game of like, how long is it going to take you to notice that I'm here? And it's like a fun thing for me now.
I love that, to own that power. Because,
Busy
I
loves to be underestimated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said you love to be underestimated. I feel like.
I was just about to say that. I was about to say it used to be the thing that was like, that would drive me the most insane. Like when the person at the dinner party who like fucking went to Harvard or whatever would like look at me and tilt their head and say, "Oh, that was really funny." Like, "Yeah, motherfucker, I get it." Like I understand what people's first impressions of me are. And it used to like really upset me and drive me crazy. And then in the last, I had a turn and I was like, this is my superpower. My superpower is exceeding people's expectations. And like that I'm able to get away with some things because they don't see it coming, And I think that's the same thing. Like on one hand, you could be like, it's really fucking shitty that like that lady just walked into me. And on the other hand, that moment, the turn when somebody realizes like, ooh,
I could
person's-
pickpocket her.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you could have stabbed her. She
You
would have
have all the
never.
power, Ashley, is what I'm saying. You have all the power. Hold those cards in your little hot hand. Okay, guys, one thing you don't know about me, maybe you do, I don't know. I love pictures of things. I love pictures of things. I love artwork. I love the artwork that people send me. I love the picture of me on top of that sandwich. And what ends up happening is that I collect these things and they sit on a shelf in my closet or on top of my bookshelf because taking them to a framer is exhausting and a process that I do not have the time for, the patience, the energy, and to be totally honest with you, sometimes the budget. Sometimes I would much rather buy one of my pretty dresses than get a bunch of things framed. Or like, honestly, one thing framed. Like, I always feel like anytime I've tried, it's like, wait, it costs what to frame that picture? Okay. So I have to tell you about an amazing new service that I've found that exists. I didn't find it. It's called FrameBridge. FrameBridge makes it easier and more affordable than ever to frame your favorite things without leaving your house. Hallelujah. Add a gallery wall to your home office or send the perfect gift to your BFF, from art prints and diplomas to, just like photos sitting on your phone. You can FrameBridge just about anything. And now here's another thing. If you have grandparents, if you're a parent and your mom and dad are like mine and they're always asking for, Busy, will you just please send me that picture you posted on Instagram printed out so that I can have it of the girls? This is where FrameBridge comes in. Go to framebridge.com, upload your photo, or they will send you packaging to safely mail in like a physical piece of art. You preview your item online in dozens of frame styles and gallery wall layouts, and then you choose your favorites, or you get free recommendations from their talented designers, and then the experts at FrameBridge custom frame your item and deliver your finished piece directly to your door, ready to hang. And so here's the best part. Instead of the fancy dress amount of money that you would pay at a framing store, their prices start at $39 and all shipping is free. Plus, because you are my listener and I love you, you're going to get 15% off your first order at framebridge.com when you use the code OURBEST, OURBEST. So guys, listen, get started today. Frame your photos. Send someone the perfect gift. It's a great gift for your parents. Pictures of your kids. Don't even sweat it. You don't have to be concerned about trying to print it out and then getting a frame and the whole thing. They do it all for you. Go to framebridge.com, use the promo code OURBEST to save an additional 15% off your first order. Just go to framebridge.com, promo code OURBEST. Framebridge.com, promo code OURBEST.
So, but we invited you on to the podcast because we wanted to talk about a big pivot that you've had in your life and times. So do you have a big pivot story that you can share with us and our listeners?
Yeah, I feel like I have a lot. I think probably the biggest one is I started doing comedy when I dropped out of a PhD program. That's how most comedians get started, I feel like.
Yeah, you avoid.
Comedy.
I avoided grad school for comedy.
You were smart. Yeah.
So what were you studying in your PhD program?
I was doing performance studies. So I had gone to college for theater. And then I think a lot of people after college didn't know what to do next. And literally one professor was like, "You're smart. You should go to Northwestern." And that I just went. One person told me to do it. And I was like, all right, I applied. I got in. I went.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
And then when I got there, I realized that this isn't what I thought it was going to be. I actually really love teaching and I taught a lot. And the whole time I was coming up in comedy, the way I paid the bills was teaching. And I love working with students, especially in performance and writing, and watching people find their voice and get confident is the best feeling in the world. I love it. But when I went to grad school, I thought I'm training to be a teacher. I'm going to really enjoy this. But the thing is, teaching is the least important thing you do. It's really about doing research and getting published and being cool. They have their own version of cool and you're supposed to try to be the coolest. And I just wasn't going to be I just didn't fit in that world. And I was like, oh, I thought I was just going to come teach people to be better performers. And instead I'm supposed to be like writing papers and getting cachet and being cool. And it wasn't for me.
Academia. It's like such a dirty. It's
Does
like
it
such
rhyme
a
with macadamia?
Yeah.
Academia. Academia.
That's how they say it because they're
Academia.
fancy.
It is. Academia. I mean, I have a friend who has like her, like, I don't even fucking know, man. Like she's been in school legitimately since we got out of school. Do you know what I mean? And she's in her 40s. And it is like such a journey when people go on that. They really love exactly what you're saying. Like there's a whole system to it, and like getting published and getting, I don't know. I can't for the life of me. It's not for me. It wouldn't be for me. And I can't see that it would be for you either.
It wasn't, but I found out the expensive way. I wish that I had known that about myself sooner.
And so then you figured, you were like, how soon did you figure it out? And then how soon did you get the fuck out?
That's a really good question. I figured it out almost immediately, and then it still took me 4 years to leave.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was really tough because I feel like when you're in like a prestigious institution or you're doing something that's like quote unquote the best, people around you are like really invested in you. Oh, you're going to Northwestern, big fancy school. Oh, you're going to get doctor in front of your name. That's really important. Not a lot of Black women get to do that. And I think just being young, I was like, oh, it's important to other people that I keep doing this. So I kept doing it, even though I knew that I was not in the right fit. And it's like, it's like wearing clothes that don't fit. It's uncomfortable all day.
It's also like an interesting thing that you said, and I want to go back to it because I think this could help a lot of, especially women who are listening. There tends to be a thing where you feel as though, even though in your heart, your gut, your brain, whatever the fuck you want to say, knows that a thing is off, you're like, but all these other people have this thing on it. And therefore, I'm going to power through because it's really important to my mom. It's really important to my friends. It's really important to my favorite professor. It's really important to all of these other people. And the thing that you need to like always remember is that you have to listen to yourself and your gut. Like you'll save yourself so much time and energy and
money.
Yeah, and tuition.
Money. But most importantly, money.
Yeah. I think also like there's a huge difference between realizing something isn't for you and stepping out of it and living your truth, which is a success, and failure. And I think it's like, oh, I'm going to this big fancy school. If I leave, then I failed and people will think that I failed. And even if people think that, like, fuck them, you knowing in your heart, oh, this isn't for me. And now I'm going to go find the thing that is successful. Like I remember like when we were at Second City, whenever people would leave Second City, whether they got fired or they chose to quit, everyone would say congratulations. Like the thing to say was congratulations. There'd be like a congratulatory last show. And I remember starting out being like, why would you congratulate someone on getting fired? But like, if you're going on to your next thing, it's congratulatory. You're leaving, you're going to the next thing. You're about to level up.
So Ashley, when you decided that that school wasn't for you and that you weren't going to finish your PhD, how was that moment when you like told people? Like, how did you do it?
I did it. I would not recommend how I did it. I rolled it out very, very slowly. I was like, I'm taking some time off. I'm taking a sabbatical. My sabbatical's getting longer. And then they were finally like, are you ever coming back? Actually, no. So I like really slow played it and didn't do it confidently. And it really, I think, in response to that, made other people not feel confident about it. Like, of course, my parents were worried about me. They're like, you're dropping out of a PhD and you're like doing commercials and sketch comedy. Like, how is this gonna work? So I think like now, if I was in that kind of situation, I would just confidently say, I'm leaving this and I'm going to this and I think it's going to be great. Or even I'm leaving this and I don't know where I'm going, but I know I'm going to have different problems at least than the ones I have now.
Do you feel like that decision kind of spurred you on to faster success because you felt like you had to make a go of this after, sort of publicly?
Because one thing I do want to point out is that one of the first things you said was, I've gone to the Emmys every year since I started working in TV. And like that to me comes exactly from the place of you leaving your PhD program at Northwestern to pursue a thing and feeling like, oh no, I'm going to the fucking Emmys this year. You know what I mean? Is that true? Do you feel like that was a driving factor for you to like get there?
There are like a lot of years in between, but I will say I felt confident during those years because it was like, I chose this. I took a bet on myself. And also I wasn't like, I'm going to leave grad school and then I'm going to go to the Emmys. I was like, I'm going to leave grad school and I'm going to be a working comedian. And especially living in Chicago, rent's not too crazy there. It's like, I know that I can make a living doing this and I don't need to be like famous or anything like that. I enjoy doing this thing. I'm good at it. This is my purpose and I'm going to live in my purpose. And I'm going to live in my purpose in my pretty cheap apartment. So I'll probably be able to eat and I'll be fine. And I think like the success came later, but I do think that it was able to come because I wasn't like starving for it. I was like, I want to tell stories. And as it turns out, people will give you a shiny trophy if you're good at telling stories. But I would have been able to tell them either way. Like when we were at Second City, they have, their main stage, which is amazing. And it's like a 6-person cast who writes their own show and performs it. And I was always like, I want them to pick me. I want them to pick me. I want to be on main stage. And then if you think about it, you're like, well, if what I want to do is write my own show with 6 people, I can just go get 5 friends and we can write a show and make it. And we're doing the job. And maybe we're not making as much money as them. And we don't have like a fancy poster and all the things that they have. But if the part of this that's important to me is the fanciness, I'm always going to be possibly disappointed because I can't force those people to give me that. But if the part of this that's appealing to me is like me and my friends telling stories and making each other laugh and making an audience laugh, I can make that happen anywhere. And I think like once I decided that that was the part I wanted, the other stuff kind of came with it. Like it was the same thing when I worked for Sam. I applied for that job as a writer. And as someone who is also a performer, I really was like, how is it going to feel to watch someone else tell my jokes and they're going to get the applause and they're going to get all of the accolades of how funny they are because I wrote jokes. Am I okay with that? And when I decided that I really was like, I love Sam. I want to work with her. I want to make her seem like the funniest person in the world, which she already is, but even more so because she'll have 10 brains adding their brain to hers. And so I was like, I'm perfectly fine with being outside of the spotlight and just supporting this person. And then a few months in, that person invited me into the spotlight with her. But I don't think that would have happened if I had gone in being like, I'm probably as funny as Sam and like everyone should know it.
I think that a mistake that a lot of people make is holding on to an idea that they should be somewhere else. Yeah. And I think that like being able to recognize where you are in that moment and being grateful for that opportunity and doing the best you can at that thing is part of one of the ingredients that can help in any industry, can help you rise. Because I think too frequently people just get bogged down in this idea. It's like, well, that should be me. I should be that person. And if you're operating from that place, your work's just not going to be good. It just won't be. Yeah. It'll service something, but it's not going to be the best it can be and it won't shine. And I think like you acknowledging that you were concerned about it, but then you were just like, you know what? This is where we are. And I'm going to like help this other lady to shine by doing all of this stuff. She was like, hey, you're pretty shiny yourself, shiny friend. Why don't you come on?
Yeah. You seem like not an asshole.
Yeah.
I've known Ashley for a long time. And even in Chicago when she was teaching, I think one of the things that Busy just said it too is that she did great work. You've always done great work. You did good work. You did great work in Chicago. And I think that is a thing that I think people don't think about. They'll be like, I want to work. And it's like, is it good though? You know? And every Lady sketch show I saw her in Second City, they're called Writing Six shows. Every Writing Six show that I saw you write, you wrote one. I auditioned for it, did not get it. But it was good because I read it and I was like, I would like to be in this show that Ashley wrote that I don't get paid for. Everybody wants to work, but do you want to do some good work? And Ashley does good work.
Yeah.
Cool.
And enjoying the process of work because it is. I think Tina Fey said this, you're so often going to be working at 2:00 in the morning. You better fucking love doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always the fun, glamorous parts.
You are such a hard worker. I think if anyone hates you for anything, it's that.
Also,
you work harder. Everybody thinks you deserve every Emmy to go but you just have so much more stamina to work so much harder than many of the people that I know. And people are like, damn it. You're like the Hamilton of sketch comedy.
I really did.
She was nonstop.
Ashley wrote the other 51.
I both relate to writing the other 51 and being the person who's so angry about it.
Me too, though. Honestly, same.
I am Burr and Hamilton.
Yeah. Same. Same.
Yeah. If you aren't Burr and Hamilton, who are you? I don't even know.
Yeah.
What's the one who was always sick? Madison. You're Madison.
Here's a Hollywood break. Doing a TV show, and especially the writing of a TV show, is all just a giant school group project. And there are always shirkers. And there are always people who are like, well, I guess it's me. I got to bring it home. I got to earn us all a B+.
And mostly it's a lot of white men.
You're right.
If you don't like white men, don't go into television. You're going to be surrounded.
Yeah.
Surrounded.
And much like the founding fathers, it's all white men. Oh, it's so true. It's so true. Are you guys are back in the room for Black Lady Sketch Show? What do you call it? Do you abbreviate it?
Call it Black Lady Sketch Show. I usually just say the sketch show. Only because when I first moved here, you have to get an apartment and stuff like that. And people are like, where do you work? And every time you say Black Lady Sketch Show, it invites so much conversation. I would just be like, a sketch show. I can't get into this with you.
Oh my God.
Why is it a
I
Black
work at a
Lady
sketch
one?
show.
I work at a sketch show.
I work on a sketch show. One of many. We're not. So we had actually completely finished writing it and we were supposed to start shooting. And then COVID happened. So we're literally just waiting for COVID to be good enough so that we can shoot.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Have you thought about doing the whole protocol of quarantining together and all that shit?
Yeah, you want to pull a Tyler Perry?
I don't know. You know what? I'm very curious of people who have done it because I haven't done it yet. How I'm a very anxious person under the best of circumstances. Yeah. And under the circumstance where every workday starts with someone putting something in my nose, I'm curious how good an actor I'm going to be on that day.
I would be convinced that someone was
because somebody will
Tindering and sneaking.
Somebody will. It's human nature. I mean, somebody's going to get horny at some point. That's how people.
There's all kinds of things. It's it's not just horny. It's there's cookies.
And these are also the people
horny for cookies.
Horny for cookies.
The people who are getting quarantined have wealth and hotness. It's not like when you're in 4th grade and you go to sleepaway camp and you go out to get some marshmallows. It's CW teen hot stars are just locked in a hotel room together. They don't even have to leave the fuck. They're gonna fuck in the hotel.
There's gonna be show babies. Show COVID babies.
It's just gonna be what do you expect?
That's actually a very good point. A lot of marriages are gonna dissolve.
They're grown. It's not like when we were kids and it's those 14-year-olds snuck out. That 32-year-old man who makes $1 million a year.
Pretending he's 17.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I did a commercial shoot for Olay. And I'm going to tell you something. And they followed all the protocols and blah, 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 blah. I was pretty freaked out, especially because as the performer, because I'm on camera, I'm not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
So you are, as the performer, the most exposed, basically. And you just don't know. You just don't fucking know.
Yeah. I think I will be very anxious. I know, like, one thing I know about myself is I will like dread things and be so anxious because that's my personality. And then once I start doing it, I usually just like settle in and it's fine. So I just have to tell myself as I'm freaking out, you know yourself, you know you're gonna, you haven't failed yourself yet. But it is weird to imagine acting while you have that cloud over your head.
That's what I mean. It seems hard.
Yeah.
Oh no. Ah!
Oh no.
Are you okay?
Who fell, the camera or busy?
It was the my Zoom recorder, which is not this. There's too many things called Zoom,
Too many
guys.
things. Yeah, we gotta
My
rename.
Zoom, because I have the Velcro tied up, the cords weren't long enough. I leaned back, the cords pulled. I was trying to keep my cords tight, Ashley. I don't know how you feel about your cords, but
I know that you guys have been into cord management.
Do you guys know that Ashley is the last person I saw other than my family before the world shut down?
No,
we went on a date together to see Oprah's 2020 Vision Tour.
Oh, that's right. And you guys
The one where she fell down.
I can't believe we got this far without talking about Oprah.
Oh my God. But wait, first of all, guys, because of the pandemic, I feel like we all forgot that Oprah fucking fell down on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to talk about it. Let's start from beginning to end. We need everything, every detail, guys.
We got tickets from, not to brag, but somebody that worked for Oprah. So,
They were good.
So we knew that we were sitting down, down front, but we were super late because the traffic was so bad. And then this like usher was like, I'm going to bring you right down because Oprah's already on stage. And so we were like, so we sprinted down to our seats. And then there was like a mix up. Some other bitches got in our seats.
Fuck that.
I doubt it was a mix-up.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I doubt it.
We were doing that thing that you do in a theater where you're trying to like not be in anyone's way, but you're trying to straighten out the problem with the seats. So we were like half crouching down, and all of a sudden you just hear this gasp. The entire forum gasps, and we like get aware of what's happening, and like Oprah has wiped out on stage.
And you guys,
she's
didn't
wearing
see
like
it.
little heels and like long pants. It was just
Her
like a
signature
disaster
kitten
waiting
heel.
to happen, that the heel was going to get stuck in the little pant.
Like
And so that was shocking. And then what we hadn't even realized was that like, then suddenly someone was like, excuse me, and like rushed past us. And it was Stedman because he was sitting.
Stedman.
Gosh.
Stedman broke into an immediate run. The second Oprah started to fall, he's at the lip of the stage to take care of her. And I was like, I need a Stedman. That might be my biggest takeaway from the whole event.
The 2020 Vision Tour. Everybody needs a Stedman.
Ashley, we're rooting for you always. We're so excited about your virtual Emmy nom this year for Black Lady Sketch Show. Well deserved. And I hope that you guys take it home. And I hope you guys get to film sooner rather than later, because I do personally want some more sketches in my life from you.
Maybe, does this season involve getting out of the apocalypse in quarantine? Because maybe since you made the first thing happen, you can
Maybe make
reverse
it unhappen.
Yeah, maybe we should just like, and then they all get $1 million and the apocalypse is over.
And
I'm
they
just
win an
saying,
Emmy. Goodbye.
If you're predicting, if you're
Anyway,
predicting
And
the
Kamala
future.
wins.
I can't wait. I'm just like, but also I'm really glad that you took your pivot, listened to yourself, didn't go for the PhD, and instead, decided that comedy was the journey, because it really is clearly the journey. And we're so much better, all of us, for you being in this world.
Yeah, and I feel better. And that is, I don't want to drink every night. So I know that life is better this way.
Ooh, interesting. I have never had that experience. Oh, I don't know what that is.
You need to drop out of your PhD program, busy.
Or go into one. Who knows?
Maybe.
Maybe that's the secret.
Maybe.
Well, Ashley, we love you. We'll see
love
you
you
on the
so
group
much.
chat.
Love you guys. Thank you. You guys keep me company. So I'm glad this time I got to talk back.
I hope you come back 1,000,000 times.
I will. I'll just start pivoting more in life so that I have a reason to come back.
Oh, well, But then I was just thinking just now, if one of us can't make it, Ashley Nicole Black.
Ooh, I'll be the Joan Rivers of this
Can
show.
be our Joan. You are our Joan Rivers, Ashley. All right, guys. Love you. And we'll talk soon.
Love you guys.
Love you. Thanks, Ash. Bye.
Guys, I don't know about you, but parenting in the last 6 months has been challenging. I love my kids. I love my family time. But between, trying to work, be creative, do my activism stuff, my kids, trying to find some balcony time for myself, I get a little bit overwhelmed. And that's why I'm so excited when Daily Harvest started arriving. They deliver delicious, clean food that's ready in a snap. I love it. My kids love it. And the foods are built on organic fruits and vegetables, so I don't have to question if the food I'm eating is, good for me or my kids, which is great. And there's no preservatives, added sugar, or artificial ingredients. I always hate that. One time I was like, I really want dried mango because it's so, it's like candy, right? And I bought some at the store and then I bit into it. I was like, it's too sweet. And it was because it was like coated in extra sugar, which is like insane. But not Daily Harvest. Daily Harvest works directly with farms to freeze their ingredients at peak ripeness, locking in those nutrients and locking in that taste, that peak ripeness taste. So listen, there's like flatbreads for lunch and dinner. There's smoothies, which I like. Sometimes I get very busy and I don't have time, guys. You know that. And then it's like, oh no, it's 2 p.m. and I haven't eaten anything since the morning times. And a smoothie is real fast, real healthy. And they have these harvest bowls and soups. I love soups.
It's getting to be soup season.
I mean, I cannot wait for it to be soup season. Anyway, everything stays in your freezer until you're ready to enjoy it, helping you thus to reduce food waste, which is always a big concern of mine. And it's also committed to minimizing their environmental impact. So they're in the process of transitioning to 100% recyclable, plant-based, and renewable fiber packaging. We love that. We love to see it.
Yes.
Daily Harvest. Parenting can be hard. Daily Harvest makes it easier with their undeniably delicious foods. Keep it simple with Daily Harvest. Go to dailyharvest.com and enter the promo code BEST to get $25 off your first box. That's promo code BEST for $25 off your first box at dailyharvest.com. dailyharvest.com. All right, guys, we've got 2 cats. I know that our dog Gina really is the star of my Instagram, but I do have the 2 cats. Listen, I don't love a litter box. I never have. I'm not fond of the way that it smells. I have 2 cats. It's double the amount of things that they leave in that litter box. And I just feel like it's a constant battle. And then, this is a true story, we got sent Pretty Litter. I'm obsessed. We threw all the other litter out. And if you're a cat person, sometimes you gotta be careful with the changing of the litter because you don't want the cats to be like, what is this? I'm not gonna use this.
They get mad.
Cats get mad. They're finicky. They want the stuff that they have had in the past, and you have to be real careful. But our cats immediately just went on right into that Pretty Litter box. It's kitty litter reinvented. Unlike traditional litter, its super light crystals trap the odor and release moisture, resulting in dry, low-maintenance litter that doesn't smell. It's a miracle. And it's virtually dust-free because it's manufactured with a special de-dusting process. Less dust, no fuss. I'm obsessed. It arrived safely at our door in a little lightweight bag that lasts up to a month. And now that I get the bags auto shipped, I don't have to deal with, oh God, we need more litter. Stinks. And it doesn't because it's Pretty Litter. And above all else, this is why we love it. It's a health indicator. So Pretty Litter monitors our cat's health by changing colors if it detects potential underlying issues. And if you also are a cat person, you know that like the urinary tract of your cat is a thing that must be monitored. Anyway, you can't find that in any conventional litter. I'm obsessed. I'm truly obsessed. This is a thing that our cats are using. Gildo and Rosie, pretty littering it up. Mark was excited about it. I have to say it has not smelled great. And then we changed over to the pretty litter and it is a whole new day in the cat's bathroom, which is what we call where they go to the bathroom. So here you can join Gildo and Rosie and me. Get the world's smartest litter without leaving your home by visiting prettylitter.com. Use the promo code BEST for 20% off your first order. prettylitter.com, promo code BEST for 20% off. prettylitter.com, promo code BEST. Guys, if it's good enough for Rosie and Gildo, it's definitely good enough for your cat. I love her. I long for margaritas with the four of us.
And by the way, while we await news that whether or not a Black Lady sketch show won an Emmy or not, they did win a TCA award for Outstanding Achievement in Sketch Variety Show. So that's the Television Critics Association. Congratulations.
The Television Critics Association is a wonderful award to get.
It is. It is.
It is. A TCA. Is that what I have? Did I have that? No, I have a Critics' Choice Award. I have one award, guys. I won one award once.
But
and I'm going to bring it up forever.
It's good to win because the critics are the people who tell other people to watch your stuff. And if the people who are like, whose job it is to be like, watch this, love a Black Lady sketch show. In this instance, I'm going to be like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's just fun to win an award, even if you win one you never heard of before. And people are like, oh, by the way, you won like such and such an award. You're like, fuck yeah, this is amazing.
This is so cool.
It is funny because I do think there becomes such a thing where like people are like, awards don't matter. I mean, I do it, you know.
Yeah.
Guilty. But
I'll take it.
Having won one time, I will say there was no bigger rush ever. It literally was like Meryl Streep must feel so fucking good all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
Awards don't matter when you don't win one, but when you do win one, they matter a little.
It's really important.
It's cool.
It's really fun. Well, we just adore our sweet Ashley. And if you haven't watched Black Lady Sketch Show, maybe you want to just check into that tonight because maybe you need to laugh. Let's just laugh, guys.
Definitely. There's a really good Patti LaBelle sketch on there. So funny. So if you missed the verses, go watch Ashley Nicole Black's Patti LaBelle sketch because it is very fun.
We didn't even talk about verses.
So
Miss Patti LaBelle. Patty, my friend.
Our friend Miss Patty, who was a guest on Busy tonight and wanted Busy to drive her to her concert in LA the next time she was performing because Miss Patty has a garage full of amazing cars but does not drive.
And I love
does
driving.
not drive.
You know I love
and one
driving.
thing I love about Miss Patty is she's been on a lot of shows that I've worked on, and she always just acts like she's like a member of the family when she comes around, and she always will usually try to tell me a little Prince memory because she knows that I love Prince.
And she brought us pies.
Yes.
Like, talk about some hospitality.
Yeah, no, she brought pies, but she also was like, what Caissie's saying is true. Like most of the time when a guest goes on any talk show, they sort of like stay in their room with their team and they don't come out until it's time for them to go on set, and then they go on set and they talk to the host, and then they don't talk to anyone but their team in between takes, like in between on commercial breaks or whatever, and they'll be nice and cordial, but they're just like in their zone and they come and go. Patty was like in our craft services room, like chatting up the crew, bringing her pies. She was so nice. She was like, I love all this girly shit. That's what she said to Caissie.
Like, she was like, this show is for girls. It's so good.
It was so
she
fun.
got it. She just got it.
So fun.
And I was worried that she wasn't going to maybe feel me. I don't know. I didn't know how she was going to feel about me. But then I loved her.
Energy. She's got true auntie energy.
Yeah.
She was so fun, so nice. And those pies were fucking banging.
And it's Miss Patty Pie season, so get yourself out there right now. Yeah.
They're hard to get too. That's why she brought some. Because they sell out.
They sell out.
I bet we can contact her directly. I bet we can get some. Yeah,
We'll
coming
try.
up for Thanksgiving in a month or two or whatever. What is time? We don't know.
It's Thanksgiving right now, baby.
Oh my
We
God.
have we have so far to go before we even get to that dumb turkey. I can't even. Oh, also groups have been formulated, but there were so many of you that they're continuing to be sort of sorted
Put together.
out for the
Sent
group
out,
chat,
yeah.
sent out. So if you haven't received your group chat assignment yet, please be
coming.
patient. It's coming. There's just we don't have, guys, we don't even know how this works. So like we're trying our best. But it's our producer Laura has taken it very seriously and has been really trying to make sure that you guys have something in common and just hold tight because those group chats are coming. Have some people gotten them though, Caissie? Some people have, right?
Yeah, it started.
It started. Okay. Well, we want feedback on the group chats too.
Let us know how it's going.
Yeah, and give us the feedback as a group. I don't want one person like ratting out the group chat and then you're going to have to deal with it in the group chat. That could be too complicated. So the whole group, if you want to write us as a group and tell us how it's going, we would love to hear it. Let's get to just one letter. I think we have time for maybe a letter. Okay, this is from Dylan. I can't really pop this picture up, but I will say this. I love the color combination. It is like a very pleasing pink and mustard. And then I can see your little face and I like your curls. Okay. And Dylan says, just some love and maybe some advice. Hi, Busy, Shantira, and Caissie. First of all, just want to say thank you for this podcast. I've been feeling super lonely and listening makes me feel like I'm hanging out with friends. I'm in love. Oh, that is so nice.
We love you too. And you are hanging out with friends.
Yeah, we're your buds.
Honestly. Oh, guys, no one goes out anywhere, but I did have a lady come up to me and say how much she loves the podcast.
Yay!
I know. It was so fun. Okay.
I love that.
Back to Dylan.
It's just hard because we're not like in public,
Right.
Yeah,
So
it's just
like
like
not
go out.
getting-
You're like, why are you talking to me? Oh yeah.
It was really nice.
Someone sent me a mug from Puerto Rico, also a listener.
Oh yeah, that Prince mug I saw. It was so cool.
It's very nice.
That's really cute. How did
Yeah.
they get your address though? That's creepy. Sorry.
No, they were
okay.
like, we bought this for you. We'd love to send it to like a P.O. box. And I was like, I'll just give you my home address. That's my P.O. box.
Sweet. All right. Maybe we're going to get a P.O. box for Caissie. Okay. Second.
Back to Dylan.
Back to Dylan. Second, I would love some advice. I'm a graphic designer and my job is pretty decent, but I keep feeling ungrateful for it. It's not creatively fulfilling, but I need health insurance and a steady income. Do you have advice for how to shift mindsets or even just advice for finding jobs that you love? Thanks so much. I hope you're having a really amazing week. Dylan.
Whew.
Dylan, amazing. This is a hard one. I do think that I don't know how old Dylan is, but she looks like she's in her 20s to me.
Yeah.
And I think that your 20s can be the time when you're like, when you have the realization that maybe your job is not going to be the most
Exciting.
And here's the thing.
Also, when you're in your 20s, you're working your way up a little bit. So sometimes you're doing a job that is going to lead you to something that might be your dream job, but there's like a lot of shitty aspects to it because you're just starting out. If that's true about you, Dylan, if you're sort of like on the young side and on a more entry level path right now, that could be like, that's what those jobs are. They are jobs you wouldn't feel grateful for necessarily.
Okay, let me just tell you. Can I tell you the thing that my trainer, Angela, who I like love so much, and I was like having this point like in my career where I was feeling like I should be, I don't know. I was feeling very ungrateful. I was like, I deserve more or I should have more or people should, I don't know, like it should just be better. Yeah. And she just went on this whole run in SoulCycle one day. She now has her own gym called Army, which is also great. And they have a digital streaming service. And I'm just giving her a plug because I love her so much. And her whole thing was like, I don't know who needs to hear this right now, but I need you to know that you need to sit in gratitude in the waiting room. And I know that you're sitting in this waiting room right now and you're annoyed. and you're like, this isn't fun for me, and I've read all these fucking magazines, and this waiting room is boring, and I saw that they already called that other person in, and the other person got called in, and I'm way better than that person, and X, Y, and Z. But what I need to tell you is that you don't know what door is opening next, and if that door opens and you are not sitting there in gratitude, you are not going to be able to walk through that door. That door will be closed to you, and the door will only be opened to you if you're able to sit in the waiting room with gratitude, have gratitude in the waiting room. And I just really took that message in. I mean, it felt very purposeful for me on that particular day, but I think about it frequently. I think about it when I reach points like what I feel Dylan is feeling right now, which is I just don't feel it, And I just think well, you don't know what's next. None of us possibly could, right? But if you just start to think, God, how lucky am I? Do you know how many people have been furloughed, or how many people are out of work right now, or how many people wanted to be graphic designers, but couldn't even go finish school because they had to stop because their mom was sick? I'm making up stories. I don't know those people. I'm just saying there are all kinds of things that you can hold on to in order to be grateful. And it changed my entire perception, as a performer and as an actor. I don't know, maybe this is cheesy advice, but I think it's good.
I mean, I agree. For me, I did a lot of jobs while I was trying to become a improviser. And I think the motto that I live with, especially now, is that it's what is for you, and what is for someone else is for someone else. And even though you might not be exactly where you want, I worked at Apple for years because they had banging insurance, not because I felt it in my soul to sell laptops. You know what I mean? On Saturdays, I did all the improv I could step into one night. And then Monday through Friday, I sold computers so that I could get health insurance.
By the way, Dylan, it sounds to me like you don't sound ungrateful. You're saying that you need health insurance and you need a steady income. And it sounds to me like you are grateful for having those things. And what you're not grateful for necessarily is that you don't find the job creatively fulfilling. And I have to tell you, as someone that's had quote unquote a lot of dream jobs, not every aspect of those jobs are ever I'm never oh, thank you for allowing me to do this task. At some point work is work, you know? So, but I agree so much with what Shantira is saying is that, you're an artist and art and commerce work hand in hand all the time. So I think you need to do what you have to do to earn those things that you're grateful for, that health insurance and that paycheck, and let that give you energy and, sort of lift you up so that in your own time you can, whatever, illustrate a children's book or paint or whatever it is that feeds your artistic soul and then feed your legit stomach with your paycheck.
Yeah.
But then I guess the question sort of, Caissie, is a little bit well, my job is exhausting. So what am I doing?
You hear so much about, especially women writers who are raising kids and working jobs and then getting up in the, before dawn in the morning to write these incredible novels. And I think it's a particularly familiar problem to women who are trying to do art on their free time. So, I think then that becomes a whole other question. Are you maybe depressed? Because if you're depressed, then that's an issue that you address in a certain way. But if you're not depressed and you're not being situationally depressed by your job, then I think it's a matter of taking control of your time and your life and your priorities a little bit and being do you have a situation where you can talk to your boss and say it would really be meaningful to me to be able to attend this art class on Wednesday night or to teach this art class on Wednesday night, or, even within your job, it would really be meaningful to me to work on some pro bono projects that are helpful to the community, or to mentor interns that are interested in getting into graphic design, to remind you why you were passionate about it in the first place.
I mean, maybe it's a little tricky because graphic design is one of those things that can lull you into thinking it will be creatively fulfilling.
Yeah. Sure.
But I also, like, in the same way, have writer friends. As an actor, got to a place in certain jobs where I was like, this is not creatively fulfilling to me. Like, you know, it's just like, it just becomes a job, dude, you know? And like, when that happens, you do have to go outside of yourself. And like, to give myself a fucking compliment on how I did that, it's a little bit how I became involved with Thrilling Adventure Hour. Yeah. Which was that I was on television and it was like, it was good, but I mean, if I'm just being honest, it was like creatively fulfilling is not exactly what making TV was for me as an actor. Sometimes there would be days, or
it's
weeks or whatever.
Are they writing for you? I mean, like as a writer, like you take the jobs you can get, and as an actress, you are great at what you do. But everybody in the writers' room is not going to always be like, and how can I make Busy Phillips more fulfilled?
Right. Right. No, that's not, you're there to service like a story and a whole thing, right? And these guys that I knew were like, we do this like stage show and it's kind of in the vein of old time radio and it's weird and they're singing and you do different weird voices, and would you like to come try like be a guest star in an episode, like in a show? And I was like, yeah, sure. That sounds fun. It's on a Saturday night. I was a new mom. I was on a television show. I had a husband at the time. It's the same husband, but different. You know what I mean? Who was not particularly like helpful to me in child rearing and stuff. But I did have Ileana, who is an amazing nanny who helped me out. And even though I was like on some Saturday nights when these shows were, I was like real tired. So I went and did it once and it was so fun and I felt so great. And there were months where like Saturdays would roll around and I was like, oof, I'm really tired. I could sleep. But I would go do it and I would feel energized, like so excited and so creatively fulfilled, and like do something that surprised myself on stage or something that like made Paul F. Tompkins laugh, which is like my favorite thing in the world. And then it was like, you know, made the other stuff like easier to sort of deal with.
Yeah. Not everything's going to make you hard.
Shantira's writing right now. She's got a job, so she's just clicking away over there, writing some more jokes for Amber Ruffin.
No, I just saw something that I need to respond to.
It was an emergency.
It's like, oh no.
It was an emergency. So anyway, there's some ideas for all of us to remember.
Dylan, we hope we helped you. Let us know how it's going. Maybe someday you would be creatively fulfilled by designing t-shirts for a podcast.
Guys, we have to talk about merch. People are excited. People are talking.
And people are giving us cool ideas.
I feel like we could sell at least 7 t-shirts.
I mean, my mom would buy 3.
Yeah, that's true. My mom would probably buy a couple too. Well, we're gonna work on the merch. Guys, look out for the group chats being sorted. It's essentially Hogwarts over here. Although, fuck J.K.
Except
Rowling,
not
transphobic.
Non-transphobic Hogwarts.
JK.
She wrote another transphobic book? What's wrong with this bitch?
Of it. It's so wild. It's like if you earn $1 billion, you literally ain't got to write no more books. You ain't got to say nothing. You can just go. You ain't got to do anything.
The kids say she's high on her own supply.
Yes, the kids do say that.
Is that what they say?
I think like old kids from the 70s.
From the 70s. She's getting high on.
So annoyed. Anyway, sorry I brought that up. I just clearly didn't mean to.
No, Hogwarts is beautiful. She's a piece of shit.
What a terrible turn of events.
If you are anybody but J.K. Rowling, please email us busydoingherbest@gmail.com to ask us an advice question that maybe we can help you out with. You can follow us on Instagram at BP is doing her best. And also, if you're not J.K. Rowling, please subscribe to our podcast wherever you get podcasts and like maybe write a nice review if you feel like it.
A review would be so nice, but if it's mean, take it to your group chat. And yeah, subscribe, download, like,
Smash that subscribe button, baby.
smash that subscribe, guys. You know what to do. Hit that button down there in the left corner.
Pew, 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 pew.
I am Busy Phillips, joined by Caissie St. Ange, Shantira Jackson.
Yep.
Two wonderful, beautiful human beings. We are all three of us, as are you, doing our best. We will be back in 1 week next Wednesday. Love you guys.
We love
Bye.
you. Take care. Bye.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best.
Oh no.